Alright, it appears to be working. Let's see if we can get into place without it dying. Or, you know, whatever it's doing. I don't remember how I had this here. Something like, I don't know. I'll figure it out on the fly. I do know that this rotation connection is loose. Let's fix that. Okay. What a great start to this freaking stream. Dear God. Okay. Alright, how's my angle? Let's see. Get a model up here. Too low. And, nope, slightly too high. Alright, that seems pretty good. Cool. Woo! Basically, tabletop painting stream, let's go. After nearly an hour of technical issues. Actually, speaking of which, now that I have the technical issues figured out, I should probably post that live in the Discord. Okay. Jeez. Alright. We're here. We got it. We're doing it. Oh boy. Oh yeah, actually it's one other Discord that's worthwhile me mentioning stuff in. Alright. Cool. Anyway. Alright. Doing the stream thing. Right. So... yeah, we're gonna pick up more or less where we left off yesterday. I moisten my wet palette a little bit here. And moisten myself. I know what I said. Oh. So we're gonna pick up, let's see. So we painted this yesterday. Let that focus in. There was a little bit of cleanup that I did earlier today. It's a little bright. It's reflecting a bit too much. Let's see if that's not a bit better there. Yeah, that's a bit more reasonable. Alright, so that was yesterday. Next pieces. So I gotta remember... it's got the weird, like... leg and torso are not attached. I want to say... you want to do the... well, we'll just do these both separately, attach them, and then I think that's when you're supposed to attach it to this, so that's what we'll do. Seems like at least one person in chat. Do we have a preference on the torso or the leg? If anyone in chat has an opinion, I will leave it to the chat. I mean, we'll probably get through both today, assuming nothing else goes horrifically wrong. Nothing else, I'm gonna eeny, meeny, miny, moe this. Hey, Moon. Leg? Yeah, we'll get some legs going. I just finished eating a chicken leg. Moon, would you believe me if I told you that I got the heating pad set up and then... oh, you'll be right back. Okay, fair enough. I'll wait then. Jeez. I want a size 1 using what happened to my palette. She called me Stink. I don't even know what that means. Monument Hobbies Pro Sable size 1 brush. That's what we'll be using right now. I start by nailing the one black bit on this leg, which is that cheek. Or get them cheeks. This could go in a lot of really crude ways. I'm gonna lower this a little bit. So you can see my dirty brush soap and dirty brush water. Actually, they're not that bad. Honestly, they're still very usable. Black is continuing to be very cooperative tonight. Jeez. There. No, it's just a little like sliver something there. That's not a little bit there. A little bit there. Yeah. There we go. Nice. I could do that, but the shaders are gonna hit that little tiny sliver of whatever that's visible, so that's fine. So then we'll switch over to... And you know what? I don't remember if that was Abaddon Black or Armor Painter Matte Black, but it was on the palette already and it worked perfectly, so I'll just take it. I'm just gonna complete that area like immediately, so I'm gonna switch over to some Dawnstone. Is that Dawnstone still wet-ish? Does it still got anything to it? It's got a little bit. From me working on a Ravenguard Vanguard vet earlier this afternoon on my own time. So we're just gonna hit all these ridge tops with this Dawnstone, which the brush wants to immediately jump over this weird line. I don't know why. Something with the molding, I guess. Oop, splashed over there. That's fine. It is not focusing on anything I'm doing right now. There we go. Nope, I see a ridge, but it doesn't want to hit it. I don't know if my eyes are playing tricks on me. I don't know. This is already going a little sloppier than I would have liked, but it's fine. The next step, Null Oil, will fix that. Yeah, I feel like a fair number of people, or at least like noobs especially. I mean that like in a as a technical term. They underestimate how many of their mistakes, and I say this because I used to be like this, and I've seen other people be like this. They underestimate how many of their mistakes are just going to be automatically fixed by just continuing to paint the model. Like if you're ever thinking you're messing up a bunch on your strokes and stuff, and you have all this cleanup, paint the rest of the model first, like all the way, and then go back and be like, all right, how much do I actually have to fix? Because I can guarantee you it's not gonna be nearly as much as you think it is. Especially if you're doing a lot of layers and highlights and shades and stuff like I do. Shaking that Dawnstone up. Dawnstone. For the record. Pop a little bit of that on there. Thin just a little bit. I'm just water thinning this because I don't need a lot. So I'm not gonna pop out more flow improver. Just a little bit. At least not yet. Keeps. What if I do it a bit more downward? I don't know. Maybe I'll stay in focus a little bit there. That actually seems pretty good. Yeah, okay. Something just vibrate? What? And last step for this cheek is Nuln Oil. I'm having a hard time getting Dawnstone out of this brush. Eh? Alright, good enough. Whatever. Moving on. Nuln Oil. That's simple. That shall be that done. All that's left is white. So, the white recipe begins with Apothecary White contrast. You can just see it in the cam. It's actually pretty good. Didn't have that yesterday. Not like this. Not like this. You guys actually being able to see what I'm doing is probably a good idea, right? Should probably try to remember that. I still feel like I'm getting a lot of reflection off this. Like, I understand it's white, so it's like a problem. Let me knock off all lights except this one. Maybe that'll be better. Yeah, I'm gonna go with that. We'll try this. You can actually kind of see what I'm doing then. As I can get the angle right. So we're taking the Apothecary White into the recesses to make a... Oh, nope, the brush tip lost its shape. Help me out here. There we go. Get like a light shade going on. Yeah, no, I do need one set of these lights on. Okay. We'll figure it out. We'll get there. Eventually. Just everywhere. It's kind of a dip or a recess. Keep wondering if it's not a... I had a really good angle yesterday, but I can't remember exactly how it went. Yeah, I don't know if it was more over there, like that. Yeah, sure. Alright, so am I the only one hobbying tonight? What's everyone else doing? Regale me on your projects. Oh, I remember what I did to fix this. Oh no, I did do that already. Really not sure how to deal with that reflection issue. Oh, welcome back, Tim. As you can see, I fixed the problem. Not even sure what I fixed exactly, it just at some point something I did worked when I reset OBS for like the 3rd time. And then I had to do it a 4th time because when I moved the wires something went bad again. So, it's so ridiculous. Even now there's this, like, I could put this wire up a bit more, but now I'm afraid to touch it. How'd the work call go? People doing their jobs? Yeah, I hear that. I got one of those tomorrow for a website job I've been working on. It might be the last one. We'll have to see. It might be effectively done. I, just don't know yet. See if they like the colors I picked out and put into place. I don't know. Yeah, pretty good. So yeah, we're painting a leg, which basically is just white armor, because, you know, the cheek there took all of like 40 seconds. Now you got work out of the way. You got anything on your hobby table, Tone? That was a mouthful. Also, for everyone's reference, I am moving on to a mixture of 2 parts Apothecary White, 1 part Black Templar, 1 part Lamia Medium, and this might not be moist enough still. I might have to get fresh stuff. I think I'm just gonna go with fresh stuff, which I have in this pre-mixed bottle. And a Venom Crawler. Nice. Up to shading part from the main body section. Very cool. Honestly, man, this might be so far down the road, but like at some point I do want to start working on a Chaos Army. I'm really stuck though when I think about it. I really like the idea of Death Guard aesthetically and rules wise, and I've painted one for like part of a it was actually a competition piece, um, which is over there, so I'm not gonna go get that right now. But it was really fun. It came out looking really good. I could totally see myself painting like a whole bunch of them, and I have a bunch already from the Dark Imperium box. However, I've read Talon of Horus books, or the Black Crusade books, whatever they're called, the Aaron Dembski Bowden Black Legion books. And now I'm like, oh, I love the Black Legion lore. Abaddon's like so cool. Like he's actually like a cool guy. And like I do like the classic look of just like Black Legionnaires, right? And then ideologically, which is how I like originally picked the Raven Guard, honestly. Back in my like lore only days, I was like, if I ever start up a Space Marine army, it's gonna be Raven Guard, because I like their lore from like an ideological standpoint. The whole like hunting, like the hunters of tyrants and like using reasonable tactics, etc. Iron Warriors, because I love the fact that they're like, you know, the whole well, like Pietrabo's like entire story. He's like he's like I mean effectively an autistic genius that just wants to be left alone to build stuff, and people are like, no, you must go to war. So the Iron Warrior's like, fine, we'll do it, but we're gonna do it like the absolute best and just grind everything to dust with like just hard math. I love it. It's been very fun. Every unit refreshes the palette, spiky shoulders, horns, and other skulls. Now every unit is new. I start Raven Guard. Yes, another Raven Guard guy. Let's go. Yeah, and also like the constant details. Like I think that might be one of the reasons why I started tribalizing my Raven Guard, is because it gave me so much more detail to play with on even like regular dudes. Like it's not only like it's not even just on just like Vanguard vets that I tribalize them, you know, like this guy here. Just magnetized, so that's actually more supposed to be like that, but anyway. It's not even just on that. I even did it on the last squad of intercessors I actually like finished. Let's see. The whole squad, all 10 of them, has you know, tribalistic features added in. And I love that about the one Death Guard one I did. Like, there are details everywhere. I'm like, I'm just gonna play. I'm just gonna have fun with this piece. Even after I completely mutilated it for the fact that it was effectively base fodder, but still. Yeah, no, I would, yeah, like, if anyone's looking to get some done, I would love to do a Chaos Commission, not gonna lie. Oh, yeah, I made it worse for myself with the VVs. I've only finished 3 of the 10 I've got. And yeah, I made it worse on myself. Like, this is the sergeant, which, by the way, they're all fully magnetized. This guy I've got set up where I see him like running up and punching in this modified melt-a-bomb into a creature. When I say magnetized, I mean magnetized. So yeah, it's a lightning claw, but it don't gotta be. Even the jump packs are magnetized, but I put a little dollop of glue on there, so while I play with them with like right now, while there's no reason to have normal backpacks, it's fine, but they're so low that I could easily pop this off and swap it out with a normal backpack if I wanted to. For, let's say, 10.5 edition, like Vanguard Vets make more sense in a Rhino with backpacks or in a Land Raider or something ridiculous like that. Because who knows what they're going to do. So yeah, oh, lot of magnetization. I love magnets, dude. One of my local players, one of my LGS players, he's been quoted describing me as having a magnet fetish because, like, do I have that out? Oh yeah. Okay, I'm just gonna do a magnet tour for a little while. Let's do this. I love showing off my magnets. So this is my most recently finished full Raven Guard piece, which is a land speeder. It is a land speeder, even though this looks like a tornado, because this whole thing is... Oop, it's sticking. Yeah, this whole piece is magnetized. I think the other pieces are right over here, actually. Yeah, no, I do magnetization as a service, absolutely. That is, actually, if you put in, do a test for me. I haven't had anyone else use the commands yet. Like, I'm kind of new to how the commands work. Put in ! commissions, all lowercase. It should pop up a link to my website, which on the first page has, like, a commission submission form. And, yeah, let's see if that pops up. It sometimes takes a second. Maybe it's singular. Try singular. Oh, thanks for the follow. Oh, hey Josh. Man, maybe it doesn't work for you guys. Alright, well, I guess I'll go ahead and do it. That should pop up a thing. Oh, where's my command tab? Nope, get that. Yeah, where, oh, it is, okay, it is singular. I'm not sure why it's not working for you. The other way of doing this would just be !links, and it gives a link tree, but this, okay, this should really just work. Is he gonna bring it up? My command... Dude, let's go with the Krieg! Let's go! Wow, my commands really just aren't working right now, huh? Alright, so... I'm just gonna try using a bunch of commands until something works. Hold on. Let's do links. Are none of my commands working? Man, nothing wants to work today. Dear God. Yeah, it's definitely... I'm looking at it right now. It's definitely... Okay, well, in any case, I'm just gonna manually type in the website then, because, screw me, I guess. There we go. So that's my website. So in the form, there actually is a checkbox, like, just for magnetization. So, like, you can do a commission... You can do, like, your average commission, and get magnets and, like, barrel drilling and whatever else as a thing. Or, like, in your case, if you want me to... If you just want just send me a bunch of stuff for me to just throw magnets in it, however necessary, yeah, I will totally do that. Yeah. There's probably a few stuff in there I do that I missed. I just, you know, when you're making that stuff, how much that stuff do you actually remember in the moment? But yeah, oh yeah, to go back to, my little land speeder tour. Yeah, the whole thing's magnetized. So I got the little doors for the tornado, and I just called it a tornado earlier. It's actually a typhoon with the missiles. Just gotta get it. There we go. Aha. So that's there. The heavy weapon is actually magnetized on the handle, or the trigger system that the guy has. And the magnet in the gun is in the bottom back of the gun. And then in the bottom is also a magnet. I missed it. There's a magnet down there to grab the undercarriage for the tornado. And this is not even my craziest magnetization project. I wouldn't consider my Vanguard Vets that either. I have it next to me once I get this sorted out again. I've even magnetized, because I'm this crazy. I've magnetized a infiltrator for the comms package for the infiltrator comms array, so he can be switched to a normal dude if I want to. I haven't painted the pieces to make him do that, but let's see. Ironically, I have them all like right here because they're part of a list. That's my go-to list right now, and I wanted them all out so I could. Oop, I dropped the melt of a gun. Not a multi-melter. Okay. This is my infiltrator comms array, dude, and comms arm, comms array, and the head, which I kind of grabbed both. So he could just be switched with like a normal infiltrator arm and the single antenna and a normal head. There's like, you name it, I can magnetize it, and I'm gonna pull out the big one in a second, which I haven't gotten a painting yet. I've only like done the sheer basics on them. Also, the story of the design of this guy is I'm imagining you interrupted my call, you get the knife. I had a lot of fun with that squad. Okay. Big boy magnets. Here we go. Storm Raven. I gotta pull the camera back. Storm Raven gunship. I love playing this model. Oh, Moon, I've gotten completely derailed and we're just talking about magnetization. I just got to the big boy, my biggest magnetization project. Which, like, I've already completely done. I'm just kind of showing it off because I'm really proud of, like, what I've accomplished with magnets. Because it's ridiculous, but I love the ability of swapping out the stuff. Yeah, Septon, I know. Like, they do that with, a lot of the Space Marine boxes, too. Yeah, no, this is a big bird. This is... Yes. I love playing it. Like, it's not super optimized gameplay-wise, but it's really fun because how many guns you get. But yeah, these can be swapped out for normal doors because they're a optional add-on. These all are magnetized, so I can swap those weapons. These are magnetized for those options, including because you have to swap like the entire plate here out, I'm pretty sure, for the missiles. Oh wait, no you don't. But I can pop the pilot in there, which is in a bin somewhere, I think. And then for travel, this whole thing disassembles. Yeah, it's because the paint's sticking. Magnets. Big magnets. And in the foam you go. After the Vanguard Vets, I'm really divided on if I'm, for my personal painting, I'm really divided if I'm going to do the Eradicators in my current list or this guy next. I'm really conflicted. Because needs more line work also. Sentinel and Torn. Welcome to the stream. More line work. This is actually a new, how long does it take to magnetize it like that? This guy took me probably a few hours, because here's the thing. I had to figure out how I was going to magnetize everything. Then I had to actually do it. And actually, I screwed up. I learned from this, but I screwed up. I should not have magnetized this right here. This was a ton of waste of time, like drilling out for the other magnet here when it actually I didn't even think to check. It actually just would have sat on there just fine without it. So to actually I went through a whole thing where to make it work with the magnet. This thing is I should have noticed these lines. I will get to the line technique in a minute actually. There is a special like thing going on here. To make this work, I actually had to fill this with quarters. There's like $3 or $4 worth of quarters inside this thing as ballast. And then there's a bunch more in the base, which that lump is all quarters and that's all quarters to make the weights of everything balance out so I can actually like move this around like mostly safely on a table. But it's like to get these set up, I had to cut out sprues and make that rod and everything, so... Spending more money on flank brick? I mean, okay, to be fair, spending another, like, $8 in quarters on an already, like, $140 model, I think is fine. That's about the shipping cost, like... Okay, so for the lines, this was part of a new, like, speed painting thing I was trying out that I think worked out pretty well, which is just, dry brushing white over black. Like everywhere, like really hard dry brush of white, and then non-oiling it, like excessively, like big brush, just slather the whole thing in non-oil, and I dry it and it came out like this. I'm like, wow, that took me like a half hour and I've highlighted an entire Storm Raven. I'd say that was a success. That's not the... wait. How's this go? No, it's the other way. Oh yeah, Tone, I can tell you, if you do have me magnetize your stuff, I do go out of my way to systematize how the magnets, how the polarities work and everything. So everything will match everything else. You don't even have to worry about that bit. Like I could show you right now with like the Vanguard vets. I can pull this camera in way more now. So like I pop that arm off and then this arm will pop right onto that guy, and that's across my entire collection I do that with. Wish your color scheme was that easy. Well, what's your color scheme, Senzo? We might be able to find a dry brush that works for that. The only downside of this Tone is that if I mix these guys up, because they have so many details, like added detail that I've done specifically to go with their like form and stuff, it takes me like 10 minutes to figure out what arms went to which guys correctly for their like original intended like poses and everything. But still, like, it's nice though, because then that means if, let's say I want a lightning claw from one of these guys to go on, say, like a captain or a lieutenant or whatever, the magnets still fit. Because effectively every time I magnetize a new thing, I grab like one of those guys and I make sure I match it. Actually, you know what? Maybe having that low is better. You can see my face more. Links allowed. You know what? Let me go double check. Because the commands weren't working before. Why can't I scroll here? What's happening? Oh, my music thing crashed. Hold on. Oh, the whole page crashed. That might have been why the commands weren't working. Hold on. Let's see if the commands work now. Maybe they do. Well, I get the music back up, and then I will check to see if I have links allowed, because I honestly, I don't remember. Okay, my commands still might not be working. Blast! They were working yesterday. What the hell? Chatbot needs a moderator role. Why did I lose the mod thing for the chatbot? That's weird. Okay. Well, it says his commands are... I guess chatbot isn't working, so, yeah, I know. I heard when it stopped, because I can hear it, too. I'm trying to get it back on. I guess, basically Corn Demon's going black and blue. That sounds nice. Yeah, try throwing a link in there. I think it might just work, because I think my chatbot is, like, completely turned off. Alright, let me know, guys, if you can hear the music, because the music should be back on. Test dummy time. Yeah, do it. That's been, like, everyone's been test dummy, I think, at some point in this stream. Yeah, no, it worked. Yeah, okay, so my chatbot is broken, but that's fine. Oh yeah, I noticed my alert, actually my alerts didn't pop up either. I don't know what's going on. Dude, that looks amazing. Dude. I didn't even think of it, like, going that hard. That's, hold on, we're gonna feature this real quick. I'm gonna pop this into this stream. This is too good to not go. I need a... let's just do a display capture. And, oh, that's probably looking ridiculous. Give me a second. Oh, it's just the whole display. Oh, right, because I did the wrong one. Sorry, guys, hold on. Hold on. I know what I'm doing, I swear. Look at that. I want window capture. That's what I want. Man, we are off the rails tonight. I'm liking it. Alright, window capture. Not my Discord. What there, sir? Look at this. Look at this. Yeah. So, Minis for War, they paint nice stuff. You should do that. That looks awesome. Alright. Alright, let's, I'm actually gonna get back to painting. Let's do this. Hey, you know what? If everyone's having a fun time, it's cool. It's good enough for me. I guess I'll have to check my chatbot later and find out what's happening there. Blue and black world eaters. That'd be pretty cool. Actually, I'm gonna try checking this right now. Yeah, no, it's got owned as the one of the moderators. I have no idea. You know what? Just about everything possible has broken in the stream tonight, so I'm gonna stop questioning it, and yeah, I'm just gonna paint. Just gonna paint. Just painting. You know what? It's not hard to control. It's hard to be precise. Because it just wants to go. At least in my experience. Like for big stuff, like those wings, probably not that hard. Little stuff, like I tried airbrushing like I did almost all as an experiment, I did almost all of the base colors on this guy airbrushed. So like all the black, the red, but I had so much cleanup I had to do. I really couldn't tell if it actually ended up being faster in the end or not because the amount of like white, like painting white over all of like the excess red and black and everything. I really couldn't tell. But, it's fine. For stuff like that, like big wings and stuff, I think it'd probably be fine. I might use airbrush a bit on that Storm Raven whenever I get to that. Test dummy your black dragons. Yeah, totally. I mean, now it should make me think about it. And especially because blue's my favorite color. And, I was joking about this last night that, because I do Raven Guard, my personal army is all blacks and reds, so I need to find every way of like adding blue that I can. So that's why I have blue lightning claws and blue power weapons. But yeah, now there's like no armies that do black and blue inherently. What's up with that? Like name a canon black and blue army. Cheaper mob, same cat form. Yeah, no, it is. You are totally right on that. Sentinel, that's smart thinking. I have a hard time with test models, like as a base concept for the most part, because it takes me so long to finish stuff, honestly, because I go into so like heavy detail on everything, even stuff I don't have to. Like honestly, these white scars are part of a commission. There's a bunch of extra stuff I just threw on here because I wanted it to look good. Like the freehand. I've done that on every squad leader so far. That wasn't in the original commission. I'm just like, I want this to look good. You know, it's my stuff. Or, you know, it's not my model, but it's my paint job. So, like, I'm gonna make this look amazing. It's still tier 3, not tier 4, although I might be changing that tier system to a 5 tier, so where this would be more like a tier 4. It's still like a high tier is the point, but it's not the next tier up. But it's still like really high detail, because you know what? One of my first commissions was painting some Harlequins for a guy's kill team, but he wanted like a really cheap, like really simple job, like basically just want base coats. And like I did it, but like it didn't feel good. It was just like 5 models with, you know, like a meh color scheme, and it was just base coats. And I'm like, this is kind of dumb. So like, from then on, I kind of decided like, as long as it's not completely killing me. Like these were gonna take a super long time anyway, because of the whole white paint scheme. That the theme is opposite normal and nothing says opposite in ice. Yeah, totally. And black, I think honestly black and blue for like, in regards to like lethal ice, is a better color scheme than like the classic white and blue. You get like a frostbite kind of concept going on, because, you know, your limbs turn black, not white, when you get frostbite. Did I not? I totally missed this with Apothecary White, this one recess. Also, I am still having problems with it, like, consistently focusing on the model. Don't know what's up with that. The white and blue feels like Christmas, but black and blue is the death aspect. Yeah, absolutely. No, yeah. White and blue... You know, white and blue feels like good guy ice. I say that because, like, white and blue were my go-to armor colors, like, back in, like, my heavy gaming days, like Halo 3. And, Halo 3 and Halo Reach. All my armor was white and blue. It was, like, white with, like, blue accents. Like, blue shoulder pads and, stripes and stuff. Like, if I were to... If I was picking a Space Marine chapter purely off colors, right? It probably... Yeah, it'd probably actually be some kind of custom chapter that was white and blue. Like, white with blue accents. Because there aren't... I don't think there's any chapters that really do that either. I mean, there might be. You know what? I could just check, because, hilariously, I have 2 different Space Marine codexes literally right here. Here we go off the rails again, but I want to know. You know, I think this just might be something we have to get used to in my streams. Like, I'm still fairly new to streaming, to streaming painting. So, still trying to get that, get the feel for what my thing is, but I think off the rails might just be a consistent thing. Where is the big chapter list? Because this is the first 8th edition codex, which was way better as far as Space Marine lore and painting and stuff. And this page right here, I know you guys can't really see this, I'll pull this up. Like, this page, where it lists out the entire company in detail, favorite part. Right there. I've used that a lot. Oh, actually, there we go. Praetors of Orpheus. If I were going strictly off color scheme, it'd be those guys. Because that's literally what my Halo armor was back in the day. Back in high school. Back at the peak of gaming. I stand by that. Until Elden Ring came out, I had kind of lost hope in gaming. Yes, Moon, I am a nerd. I mean, look at the stream you were in. I know I have you here as a hostage, but still. Like, honestly, not gonna lie, the most recent Space Marine Codex was kind of disappointing. As a codex. Because it had, like, no... It had, like, very, very streamlined lore. And, like, no paint jobs, basically, in it. Like, at all. It was almost like they were saying, so many good games come out. So I guess the indie games. Yeah, and that's totally fair. I will give you that. It does seem like the future of gaming is a lot more in the small and medium-sized developers, because AAA has completely drunk the Kool-Aid. Like completely, especially not MMOs, but like open world games. Just yeah, like I said, until Elden Ring came out, I had just kind of lost hope. Because I literally can't even play the new open worlds. Like the amount of hand holding that like disgusts me. I am a very capable gamer, totally capable of self-directing, and the biggest thing I want out of those games is exploration, which the constant like quest markers and everything else. There is no explanation. I have an idea of what's around the corner because they literally just told me what's over the next hill. Like, what's up with that? Elden Ring, you find like a small structure in the woods. It's got an elevator. You go down the elevator. You find this entire new... It feels like a new planet. It's like, I thought this was just an elevator. I thought it was just gonna be like a little dungeon. No, that's the next like 14 hours of your gameplay is what you just found. At least. And that's your first time through that area. Because you're gonna come back to the area like a bunch of times. Like, there's so much stuff down there. Like, that is amazing. I remember, like, the moment I found that is crystal clear in my mind because it was so impactful. Yeah, hand-holding or pay to win. More hand-holding, both money. Yeah. It's like, listen, I am already broke. I don't, like, I play Warhammer. I don't need, I don't need this too. Like, and here's what sucks. As a concept, as just a basic concept, I individually actually like loot boxes. But when I say loot boxes, I mean like Mass Effect 3 multiplayer loot boxes. Like, one of the first games with like loot boxes in it. Oh yeah, Diablo Immortal. I didn't play it, but I've seen enough of like I watched a whole video that went for like a half hour on as to how like insidious that game was as far as like how its monetary system worked. But like Mass Effect loot boxes, Mass Effect 3 multiplayer, which is like the most underrated multiplayer in all of gaming. If you've not played that, you need to. Like, there are still right now, and I know because I was playing it last week, there are still people playing Mass Effect 3 multiplayer. Yeah, $550,000 to get a full build. That's insane. There's a train, there's like a train simulator game on Steam that has like $4,000 worth of paid DLC like in their Steam like add-on store. Like, what is this? Oh yeah, no, Septon, I started with Dark Souls 1. It took a long time to finish Dark Souls 2 because I really didn't care for it. Dark Souls 3, yes. Yeah, no, I was a big Souls player before I played Elden Ring. Big Souls player. I still consider, like, Dark Souls 1 as one of the best games ever made, flat out. Like, that is a true piece of artwork. That first time you play through Dark Souls 1, especially if it's your first Souls game, that is an experience like nothing else. Like, that, I still remember, like, almost all of my first playthrough, and that was in, like, 2014. I never even heard of the games before that, but my brother got it, gave up on it, and it's like, here, try this. And I'm like, and I was just hooked. I was hooked so hard. I was so hard hooked. Like, I've played, yeah, like, I've sunk, like, probably 1,000 hours across all the games, all the Souls games, at least. And most of them were within single playthroughs because I wanted to find everything. I wanted to find everything, do everything. I wanted like every little morsel of like experience. I just devoured it. Alright, so next step on this is I'm gonna use Contrast Black Templar to blackline all of these like deep I call them trenches because I can't think of a better word. Because they remind me of the Death Star trenches. Effectively. yes, Moon loves her Stardew Valley. She will Stardew Valley until the end of time. Your little farm with your little animals. Dude, I see you up at 3 a.m. Eastern. I know you're in California, but I see you up at 3 a.m. Eastern playing Stardew Valley. Yeah. Okay, so favorite kind of build in a Souls game? Go. Yeah, I'll stick with my miniatures. I feel like miniatures are kind of close to Stardew Valley in their own way, actually. Like, I feel like it's a lot of the same psychological taps, if you will. I feel like I need a Justice Angle, but I'm not really sure how, like, what. You know, the closest I ever got to Stardew Valley was Viva Pinata, which I did play the crap out of the first one. When that first came out. I also had, like, really early on, when it was going on, I had a Farmville time for, like, a month. That happened. I'll admit that. Okay, actually, that brings up a whole conversation I do want to have. Guilty pleasure games. I think this is kind of dumb. Especially if you can pinpoint the reason why you like that game, even if that game's not good. Sword, shield, medium armor, or two-handed, low, medium armor. Okay, yeah. That's like probably one of the more hardcore builds, honestly, in Souls games. Like one of the harder ones to like pull off like really well. Like it takes the most skill. I know what I went through with Elden Ring was a heavy tank build. And I will get back to the guilty pleasure conversation because there's like a whole thing I want to go into on that. I did most of the game was the Tree Halberd, the Kaku Great Shield, and whatever the heaviest armor I could get. Okay, that was interesting attempt at moderation there. I added the... I don't know if you guys can see that. Oh no, it doesn't say that. It says on mine, I used slash add permitted term sucked me. Just like... Thanks, Discord. I appreciate your attempt at moderating the word sucked. Suck. Yeah. Can I get some kind of feature that's like the opposite of moderated? Like opposite of like banned or shadow banned words? Can I get like promoted words? And I want to put like suck, thick, moist. And I just wanted to like do something do like the follow tune thing, like it brings up a thing every time someone uses that word. I want to encourage people to use these otherwise uncomfortable words. No, you said my friend sucked me into this anime dating game, so asked me if I wanted to allow that message because it said sucked me. I'm like, okay, what? Thanks, Twitch. That was a thing. Map games, 4X grand strategy. Okay. Here's what I think about guilty strategy. Guilty pleasure is what's supposed to be, like generally speaking, is a game that you know is bad, but you like playing it anyway. There are some really good 4X strategy games. Like, I've got one that this is probably the game. It's odd seeing it asked about suck, moist, and such. Well, I think the suck to me, that kind of makes sense. Moist is just because I know some people hate that word, which just makes me love it. Although I do kind of love it for its own effect, like, moist. Moist. I don't know, it tickles me. And I am kind of also still, like, I found out about it later, but apparently, Miniac has a whole thing. He's got, like, a whole ongoing joke about, about, moist noises. I don't know how much that actually transmitted, but yeah, he has a whole thing about it. It's hilarious. So, oh yeah, so there's a game that I have more hours in it than any other game. Easy, easy, because I've been playing it for like 13 years, and I will occasionally pop it on again, and that's Sword of the Stars, which is a sci-fi 4X game that has this amazing gameplay feature that I've not seen anyone else do anything quite like it before or since, and I really hate that fact. And I think actually, honestly, I think this could save strategy games if some games actually used this. Like, you could make a modern strategy game, and it would put them back on the map though. And that is, it was an empire builder, a 4X empire builder, like in like full scale, like entire galaxies, not that many stars. Like, I think the largest for like the first game was like 150 stars because it was made in like 2006. So I had the galaxy map, which was turn-based. It was turn-based strategy where you would design your ships, get them built, research technology, move fleets around and stuff. And then when two enemy fleets would get into the same system or in the same, relative space, say they meet up in deep space and they go into battle, the battles are done in a real-time thing, in their own instance, where you'd have three-dimensional sci-fi real-time space warfare using exactly the ships you designed, and everything, every little thing that you designed on the ships, like what gun turrets had what guns, and like what kinds of armor and what abilities the ships had, were directly instanced into these ships that had inertia and gravity and momentum and real-time accuracy on their weapons. Like, they would shoot like a little laser bolt, and if it missed the actual model of the ship, it missed, or it hit it, and it hit it in that exact spot, and it would do damage in that exact spot. And it had the ships were broken up into three pieces: your command, your mission, and then your engine. And you could destroy the ships piece by piece of those pieces. And if you destroyed two entire pieces, it would destroy the ship. So you could, and what you would do is you could actually click on the enemy ships and have your ships that you had selected target specific points. So I want them to target the command part, which would actually remove everything that the command module, like the command part of the ship had on it, all of its weapons, all of its abilities. But you could also even target individual guns. So if it was like a big ship, like a cruiser or a dreadnought, and it had this giant like cannon on it that was just could massacre like a destroyer or whatever in a single shot, and you were like, I just need this like giant beam cannon like gone. You could target that single cannon, and when enough of your shots hit and did enough damage, I'm doing a terrible job on this piece right here. When it did enough damage to that cannon, because they all had their own individual health, it didn't show you the health except in live, like it would make these little fissures of like flame and fusion and stuff like pouring out of parts of the ship that were like actually damaged, like in real time. It would eventually knock the gun or the ability module, whatever the thing was, off the ship, and it'd go flying into space before it exploded a few moments later. So it had this. It was an amazing system. Honestly, if I do end up streaming games at some point, I might even do a couple streams of it just to show it off, because I'm like, this is a cult classic game that people need to know about. This, like, it's got its problems, and its galaxy side of things might not be for everyone, but man, like I have spent so much time playing that game. It was terrible, and this like legitimately kills me inside. Like, this is deep feels right here. They made a sequel, and it had amazing, massive like improvements and expansions of their ideas, but their publisher screwed them hard. They were forced to release like nearly a year too early, and the game was basically nearly unplayable. It was so broken and just unfinished. And like some people have been working on mods to make it playable again, but they still haven't quite gotten there. It's called Sword of the Stars. Hold on, I'll put it in chat. You can get it with all of its DLC on Steam, like super cheap, like $5. Hold on, I'll bring it up right now. Who's pinging me in Discord? What is this? Let's see. What does Steam say? If I wanted to buy Sora Stars, even though I already have. Also, definitely get it with all of, like, make sure whatever, like, version you get the one that has, like, everything. It's, like, Sora Stars Ultimate Edition. Sora Stars Complete Collection, $10. $10. And I've, Empire War? Yeah, I still got, oh, it's not over there. Where is it? It's wherever I have that stack of PC, like, old PC games. Which actually sucks, because my laptop doesn't have a CD drive anymore. I gotta buy an external one. I have the Empire War. Like, in the big, blocky PC case. That game was awesome. I love that game. That game was really I thought the ground combat was so, but the space combat was great. Yeah. Yeah, the space combat was awesome in that game. I was just thinking about that game the other day, honestly. And that's what prompted me to remember that I don't have a CD drive anymore, so I can't play any of my CD games anymore. What's up, Alfarius? Turtles? Actually, turtling is usually my go-to RTS strategy. It's like a combination of turtling and steamrolling. Like, I turtle really hard in the early game, and then I wait till, like, the very late game, and I steamroll people with just spamming some nonsense or another. Oh yeah, so back to Guilty Pleasure. There's a Guilty Pleasure game I do want to talk about. It not super long, because it's not that much great stuff to talk about, but... I don't even know how many people even remember this game existed, but Two Worlds, the first one, which was a hilarious, janky piece of crap game. I believe you'll be totally fine. Thanks, man. I appreciate that. It was a janky, meme-worthy mess. Two Worlds. But I loved it. I loved how you could be getting attacked by wolves or centaurs or whatever those like lamias, and you guy would go bandits. And the entire game was you're totally alright too. That's great. This is so appropriate. That's Alfarius coming in and trolling like this. This is very appropriate. I approve. He would go, bandits! And the entire game was voiced over in, like, ye olde English. Like, everyone talked ye olde English style. It was hilarious. The combat was a little stupid. The magic system was actually awesome. You had a really large and expansive magic system that was pretty awesome. In the later stages, you could get, you could just, like, it's D&D style, like, late game magic. Like, you just call down, like, meteor swarms. But, like, not, like, some rocks from the sky, like, say, in Elden Ring. No, I mean, like, you can't see the screen, because it's just dinosaur-ending explosions. It's nuts. Absolutely insane. Of course, it would take you, like, 20 hours of magic grinding to get to that point, but, you know. Why'd my viewers suddenly drop? My viewership just, like, dropped in half. Was the Two Worlds too much for you guys? Was it too much? I don't know. I'm having a good time. It's all good. Alright. Oh wait, no, I messed under the kneecap. I'm dumb. You know what it looked like? It looked like when Thanos blew up the moon yeah, when Thanos blew up the moon and dropped it on Tony Stark in Infinity War. That's what Meteor Storm in Two Worlds looked like flat out. Like I'm not even joking. It looked just like that. Terrible graphics, but it looked like just like that. I still sometimes quote that game because it was so meme worthy. Just the bandits. And I'm trying to remember what the other stuff he used to say all the time. It was so stupid. It's so stupid, but it was said so seriously. It was amazing. That game also has the fastest win time, like the fastest you can win a game ever. Like because it's literally less than 2 minutes. You can win the entire game from when you start the game in under 2 minutes. Because for some reason the bad guy is just in the world, like 50 feet away from you when you start the game. He's meant to like taunt you because he's super strong. But if you run over to him and you attack him with something and you aggro him and you lead him to this village like 50 more feet away in like the same direction, you can get all of the villagers to attack him because he's attacking you. And this random bear is also hanging out right next to town. And they'll actually kill him. And it will start the end game cutscene. And you will win the game within like 2 to 3 minutes of loading the game up. It's amazing. Just like, wow, this game's such a meme. And then they released Two Worlds 2, which is basically them trying to be like a respectful respectful RPG, and I'm like, nah, you should stay with the meminess. It's both really dumb and really great at the same time. Actually, I actually played the crap out of that game way back in the day. It's honestly like Game Informer gave it like a 4 out of 10, which Game Informer like hardly ever gives anything under a 6. They gave it a 4. Like they were like, this is one of the dumbest like medieval games you've ever played. Now I'm like, yeah, but I love it. But to be fair, they gave Sword of the Stars like a 7, which is like an average for them, and I have like several thousand hours across like 13 years in that game, so I guess shows what they know. To be fair, I think Game Informer's really fallen from their lofty heights they used to be at back in the day. I think they've kind of sold, like, I hate saying it because it makes you sound like a pretentious like hipster about like anything at this point, but like literally I think Game Informer's kind of sold out in their like actual reviews. Like before, like it's not like they ever said like they weren't sold out, because like obviously being a magazine, like that's the whole nature of a magazine, is to be sold out. But at least like back in the day, they actually gave what seemed like honest and like well thought out reviews. Now it's like everything else in modern gaming. It's just corporatized bullcrap. So, but whatever. Who's messaging me? That I don't think that we do like 90 minutes later. Yeah, there are also ones saying games like Elden Ring are too hard for. Yeah, which is a complete joke. It's a joke. Elden Ring is the easiest Souls game. I mean, I know a lot of people say Demon's Souls is also pretty easy. I haven't played Demon's Souls, so I can't like comment like super hard on that. But like, the fact that you can at any time just turn around and go over level the crap, like I was over leveled for 90% of Elden Ring. I was really over leveled for 90% of Elden Ring, which I was already like a I was already a build that would just punish like the average boss, because they're mostly melee based, and I was a great shield heavy armor tank using the tree halberd, or like right at the end I was using the Malakat's black blade. Like I would go in to grind bosses for the rune arcs, because I always like to have a rune arc going at any given time. So I would find, you know, a good boss around my level, and I would just grind it for people as a tank. Like I was like the obvious dedicated tank, like every single time. Moist palette, yeah, it's a moist palette, Justin. It's yeah, no, it's got a good bit of water in there. Moist. I was just talking about earlier. I want to find a feature that's like the opposite of moderated words, like banned or shadow banned words. I want the opposite of that. I want like encouraged words that every time someone uses it, there's like a little, like a little fireworks display or some ridiculousness happens on screen, and it's gonna be like, suck, thick, moist, cheeks. Cheeks is a good one. I like cheeks. Stuff on my to-do list. I want this to happen. Yeah, moist. But yeah, saying Elden Ring is too hard for game reviewers, for Game Informer, that's absurd. That's no. Just no. Like find a way to get through it, because I mean, you've got leveling up, you got summons, both NPC and people. Like you can just literally just summon, and I get if they're doing it before it releases, but you still got NPC summons for like every single boss. There's a co-op mod now, and I want to play that with somebody. That would be really cool. Yeah, no, I've seen that mod. I saw that mod also being used with a randomizer at the same time, like a randomized all the enemies and items. Hilarious. Absolutely hilarious. The instead of the tree sentinel right out of the gate, it was no, what's his name? The guy from the cutscene. Sir Gideon the All-Knowing was the tree sentinel. It's just like, wow, that's great. let's just deal with that right out of the gate. Yeah, it was absolutely absurd. It's really funny. Actually, the apparently, so it was two guys playing it, but so it was Michael and Fredo from Achievement Hunter, and they had another guy. I don't remember his name because he's kind of new, or at least he's new, like in the spotlight. I'm gonna try to get like a more above angle here, see if you can see a little better for what I'm doing. It not quite, almost. We'll get there. Basically, it was the guy that was doing their like tech support, like, you know, keeping track of everything and set up the mod for them and everything, right? And he's like, at one point they're like, man, there's a lot of dragons around, and he's like, yeah, no, I had gone in before. This is with vastly reduced dragons, and they're like, what? How many white scars left? Do you really want to know, Justin? Do you really want to know? Do you want to know the answer to that? It's just too many, Justin. It's way too many. You do. Evil. Okay, so if you include this guy, I have 7 more Assault Intercessors, 3 more Outriders, 3 more Blade Guard Veterans, a Blade Guard Ancient, Chaplain on Bike, and Kusaro Khan himself. I am not happy. Yes, you do know the story behind it. I have so far done 10 Assault Intercessors and 3 Outriders and an Apothecary, Primaris Apothecary. And they look great. They really do. At one point, Josh, other Josh, was like, man, these things are gonna make me cry. They look so good. I'm like, mission accomplished, but dear God, does it take a long time. So I do no charity army. Well, here's the thing. Can I do it like the Necrons, where it took me 9 days to do the entire thing of White Scar? No. You know what? I'll do Horus Heresy White Scars, where it's the version where they're all like black armor. I'll do that. Okay, well, here's the thing. Okay, honestly, in truth, I could do White Scars. It's just I'm not doing it with this. I'm not doing it with this color scheme. Like this recipe. This recipe is the reason this takes so long. It's amazing looking, but it takes forever. If I was going to do another white scars, just any way I wanted to do it, it would just be like spray white, black line it, done. That's all you need, and it looks good. Well, yeah, live and learn that like taking other like in an external recipe for a commission, I should charge like 4 to 6 times as much as I would otherwise. Yeah, that is the live and learn. I've learned that lesson over every single day for the last like year. It's just how it goes. You as another business owner know how it is. But yeah, no, if you want a charity army, I'll do it, and it'll just be black lined white dudes, and it'll look great. Dude, get me one of those Age of Darkness boxes, and I'll paint that up as just Heresy white scars with the Spartan and the Contemptor. It'll be great, and it'll take me like a week. Charity Warcry troop. It's coming up again in November. Yeah, no, I know. Honestly, I'm excited about it. That was really fun. I really like doing those Necrons. And, like, yeah, because the Necron scheme I did was, like, airbrush, 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 contrast, dry brush, and then effects for the entire thing. And the effects was just blending blues and whites to give them that glow thing, which I can do way better now. So the entire star collecting box, which for those that don't know, was 10 warriors, a overlord. I don't know Necrons that well. It's a lord or an overlord, whatever. 3 of those weird bike things, the semicircle bike things, and a doom scythe, or yeah, in the doom scythe, tomb blades, 3 tomb blades in a doom scythe or night scythe. Yeah, that entire box from opening to taking pictures was 9 days, and I could have cut that down by 2 days because at one point I was trying to do purple instead of blue. So if I went straight to blue, it would have taken me a week. I would have done the entire thing within a week. Entire star collecting box, not even a big deal. Which, like, any other commission I get is going to be kind of like that, really. Like, this is a giant learning experience, effectively. Dark and cheesy, most use memory. Yeah, right. Because, like, here's the thing. You just need, like, looks good on the table. I was commissioned to do these things at, like, super high quality, which if, you know, I didn't know about the whole, like, the recipe being the problem, but, like, I still could have made them look really good quality, because, again, you just do really good black line. Like, if I did, like, this right here, that kind of black lining on all of this, like, that already looks good. It won't focus. Oh, it's trying to focus on this. No, get... Just whip my camera around. Just whip it. Whip it! Focus! Oh. Sometimes I think I gotta adjust where the camera is actually mounted. Might help. But yeah, if I just like that is like good enough. Honestly. Like a little bit of shader, black line it. It's good. Actually, I'd probably just blackline all this. It would still look great. It'd still be great. It's just all the extra thing. Yeah, it turned into a podcast. I'd be totally for like a podcast in general. I think the Hobby Haven could definitely do a podcast. Honestly, we got enough people that are good on it, like that know their stuff and could talk. Like me and Cody went on for how long? Just by ourselves? I mean, Josh was there for a little bit. Like a little bit of part of that conversation, but like, we went for like nearly an hour. Just Cody and I back and forth. It was great. Thing is though, for me right now, I'd have to do it remotely, but it's not like... Did we go for 3 hours, Cody and I? Holy crap, that just flew by. But then again, at that point, I was half delirious because I'd been awake for like, 26 hours or some nonsense like that. By that point. Like, I know you went through all the footage later, but you know. Oh yeah, I already painted that part. Where am I? Back of bomb and back of the foot. I was driving 28 hours without sleep. It's a good one. It's good. Well, that's just another gamer achievement right there. That's how you know you're a true gamer. There's this Viking channel on Instagram I follow just because the stuff looks cool, because they do like really like super high grade like cosplay and stuff, like actual leather and like armor and stuff, like in like a whole village in like actual Norway and stuff. Like, it's pretty cool. And like one of them was like, I'm running on 2 hours of sleep, 4 cups of coffee, in a dream. Let's go. A guy I know still has that. Well, that's great, but I got no money. I got really good credit, but I don't got any money. Stuff's been pretty slight in the business end of things. Not gonna lie. That was part of the whole stream thing. It was like, I'm stuck paying this stuff anyway. I might as well try to get something more out of this. Out of this time I'm using anyway. All my previously going contracts are ending, and yeah, need to find some new ones. Make a t-shirt, keep it moist with a paint. That's brilliant. And what's great is I actually already have the infrastructure for that, which I'm thinking about. So I was doing, I don't know if you remember, I was doing Printful, with like an Amazon store and stuff. And now that I'm doing this, I might just, yeah, right. I might just lick, yeah, I know, socialize a bit. I mean, man, I did recently find a couple of Discord channels that I was getting on, like late night chats, almost every night, which was really helping a lot. Cause yeah, no, honestly, I really don't get out of the house. I work like 6 to 7 days a week. Like, I have 2 D&D games Sunday, but those are like, have been very irregular lately, and that's like my entire social life. It's basically that. But no, now that I got this going, I'm thinking of linking my Printful just up to my commission website. And so, you know, stuff can be bought from me direct from there. And I don't have to pay like either Etsy or Amazon's like crazy commission rates, and I'm providing my own traffic through this anyway. Which I gotta fix chatbots so it can act like the commands will actually work again. Teespring it? Well, I've already got it all set up with Printful. Like, I already have a bunch of clothes in there and everything, and Printful's, like, rates and stuff ain't bad, and their builder is, like, fairly good. The problem was Etsy screwed me, like, really hard over Christmas, and then Amazon, I was paying like $50 a month just to have my store open on there, and then they were gonna take a bunch of commission cuts. Like, this is not... Unless you actually have a way of driving traffic, like, through Amazon to you, like, this is garbage. This is not worth it at all. But, yeah, no, I'm gonna set it back up, link it to my website, and then just put, like, a, exclamation mark, merch. And people can just get merch. And yeah, I'm gonna do a paint, keep it moist paint palette. That's brilliant. And remember what I said, Justin, you want to sell my stuff in your store, just let me know. We'll cut a deal. Start shooting some numbers. Because I am mostly making these for, like, the hobbyist crowd. You know, like, the focus of them, anyway. Like, one thing I think would definitely take off... Where is it? Is... I actually did sell one of these. So actually, there's 2 of these in existence right now. I don't know what this thing is on it. Yeah, coffee mug. Warning, this is a coffee mug, not a brush rinse cup. Yeah, white. You're gonna kill me. Death by space Mongol in the real life. You know what? Yeah, you can put that flyer up, but I'm also gonna make a shirt that is just like it says one shot win and has like a Raven Guard Luminaire looking down at a dead biker dude just on the ground in a pool of blood. And I'm gonna sell that. Yeah, right? Right, Josh? No, I'm not joking. Like, it's a good idea. I just need somewhere where I can sell it. Which, like, I have a website. I know how to set up an e-commerce. It's literally my other business is web dev. I didn't see a point in it before because I didn't know how to drive traffic to it. I actually have not done it. Oddly enough, I've never done that. I've never dunked a brush into a cup, and I've never drank out of my rinse thing. And you know how? This is my system. I don't actually use coffee mugs because I don't drink coffee. So this is like, all my water glasses look like this, kind of. Like same size type thing. And then this is my rinse water. So like, it's kind of easy to distinguish. But I've watched more than a few Instagram reels of people, or, you know, Twitch clips, even YouTube clips of people dunking their brushes into coffee cups. Well, yeah, of course, the average person does drink coffee. I'm a weirdo, like, in most ways. I'm a weirdo, and in a lot of ways I'm a weirdo, but, like, I don't drink coffee. So I actually don't use coffee mugs. I've used that a couple times for coffee milk. That was fun. But, like... But yeah, actually the reason I have that in the physical is because Amazon required me to have a couple of my products like on hand and take pictures of them to like confirm that they actually like exist and have the logos and stuff that they say they do on them. Anyone that comes to shop not weird. I mean, that's a fair point. It's just a question of degrees. Yes, Josh, I include you. You are weird. Accept it. If you don't accept it, we will pressure you until you accept it. Yeah, right? Nah, it's pretty rough. I don't remember his name, but there was that dude, because I was, round one took so long that, I was trying to beat this one guy at Super Smash Bros. Brawl for like 3 hours straight. Like, that's kind of rough. We came out of that with him with a mutual respect, though, because, I mean, yeah, he's really good, so I respect it. I mean, probably. Like, on the longer side of like black hair, but not like mine. Deep voice, like oddly deep for considering the rest of his build. Like you wouldn't expect that deep a voice to come out of him. Not Bundy. Yeah, I have no idea. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't help that I'm terrible at names. Like, I remember his face perfectly. I'm great with faces, but names, like, right out the window. Like, no joke, it took me, like, nearly... No, actually, no, it was easier because of, like, the Facebook chat and Discord, but, like, I left the first time I went to Hobby Haven, I left and still was not certain of your name, Justin. Well, there were a few people playing those games on the Switch, okay? So that doesn't help. There's like 3 people that were consistently playing the Switch. I mean, geez, it took me like 3 times to the temple to learn Taylor's name and keep that name in log. Yeah, we're just doing our best to make sure you don't get bored as the event moderator. Gotta keep you sharp, keep you on your toes. By the way, how are you gonna have a 40K charity event that's wholesome? Like, it's 40K. We're all screaming blood for the blood, blood for the blood god, skulls for skull throne. You can this page is not complete. You can help by expanding it. We know the page I'm talking about. We're throwing actual sex demons at each other. Like, yeah, wholesome. 40K. This makes sense. I mean, you would say that. Honestly, okay, legit. In the main, like, I'm not talking about like the ones with the flayed virus or anything, but in the main, or the destroyer cult. But in the that Redemptor is actually right here. I didn't strip him. I just airbrushed over him. This is the Redemptor. Did I even do the arm thing yet? I haven't even done the arm thing yet. I haven't done anything to him since I like just base coat him and toss some texture base paint. Eventually I'll get to giving him the same chaplain. I don't think I've touched the chaplain either. Nope, I haven't even touched the chaplain because he has enough like nice details on him that I want to do it like by hand. Even though like the general look doesn't look the same as any of my other guys. Like, where's another character? Oh, that was an old one. There's a nice looking character. Like the matte level doesn't even look the same, but it's still like nice enough that I want to just by hand like prop it up a little bit. Yeah, I've been so busy mostly with this White Scars commission and that giant website contract that I've not even painted a whole lot of my stuff lately. Like I only just started repainting, or not repainting, but like painting my own stuff again. Like I've been working through my Vanguard vets. You probably saw the picture, but like I finished this guy late last week. That's like the first of my own guys I've. Oh wait, no, the land speeder. The land speeder was the first one of my own guys I've finished since like March. Because all I've been doing is painting these White Scars, like just nonstop, whenever I'm not working on like a website job. Which my last website job could be effectively ending this week. Well, tomorrow actually. So yeah, I'm trying to force myself to paint at least like an hour a day of my own stuff, just to keep myself from going insane. That's kind of why I started calling the second stream Freeform, because I was gonna try incorporating it into that. So like most of it I might still be painting White Scars, but like for part of it I'll paint, you know, some Raven Guard, just so I could keep some of my own stuff progressing, so it doesn't feel so like day to day doesn't feel so unrewarding, if that makes sense. Because you got to be able to reward yourself at least a little bit. as you like accomplish stuff. Itching for another game. No one wants to play my army. But here's my problem. I don't have a good way of getting up there except by spending like $60. I don't have at least, if not like closer to $75 for an Uber to get up there. To then use a day I could have otherwise been working to play the game. I mean, I want to play 40k, but like that combination of like expenses in time and money, I just can't do. Yeah, you know, if someone would get me up there, like all the way to the shop, and yeah, I'd probably be for it. Like, if you could get me a ride up there, let's say Saturday, yeah, I'll go up there and play. Yeah, I know, exactly. Uber's expensive that way too. Like, just to get to Providence, not even to you, like to my end of Providence is like $25. You know, I wonder how my new army, now that I've had to account for the CP changes, which I loathe, by the way, I hate those CP changes. I wonder how they would fare against your stuff. So my new list, which, oh yeah, you guys only saw me use the list I was using for a long while, against Josh, Plasma Josh, once, but my my current list, my new list, is actually, I can actually show it because I have the technology. There we go. We just go through it piece by piece for some funsies. That light's a little blaring, but that's what I gotta do. Not sure why this is swiveling so much. Give me a second. Because I want to stay still. Stay still, would you? I still want to wander a little bit. Alright, anyway. So it's, Cave and Strike, Chaplain, Benediction of Fury, 5-man Infiltrator, both have Infiltrator Comms Array, 5-man Intercessor, both of them have Grenade Launcher, Auto Bolt Rifles, and Power Fists. Apothecary, just standard Firstborn Apothecary. I can't even see my hand, I am pointing out stuff. Apothecary. 10 Vanguard Vets, Shields, and Lightning Claws. 10 Hell Blasters with the Assaults. Eradicators. Yeah, I remember what Metal Codex is. I want to say, well, standard Melter Rifles. The Land Speeder, I want to say, Typhoon? Yeah, Typhoon. Yeah, no, I did want the missiles. Typhoon and Multi-Melta. So, like that. And the Storm Raven with Heavy Plasma, Multi-Meltas, and Hurricane Bolters, and obviously the rockets that it comes with normally. I had the Storm Ravens over there. And that's 2k. And like some points. Some command points. The oop, my camera's going everywhere. You faced my dread list. That was a long time ago. I haven't fielded my Leviathan in like 2 years. It's not consistent enough. The graph flux is too inconsistent. Like I played a couple years ago, not a couple years ago. It feels a couple years ago, at least like a year and a half ago online. Like right after Ninth came out, I want to say, that had in Tabletop Simulator had 2 Leviathans in it, and it did nothing. I was against Drukari. 2 Leviathans. They both did nothing. They were able to shoot at stuff every single turn. They just did no damage. Because they shot like minimum shots almost every single time, and then didn't manage to actually get to the damage like part of the rolling. Because they shot like 2 shots each. It was awful. But with new CP changes, I had to remove the Sakarian Venator and oh, where's that Gene Cult skull? That's on Lieutenant. I just showed a minute ago. Where did I put him? I put him up here. My Primaris Lieutenant. This is the guy that was leading my first crusade. Yeah, insult to injury. Yeah, exactly. I need to get more. I don't need to, but I would like to. Oh man, I'm realizing how bad my white armor on this guy was. This is how I used to do white armor. It's freaking gross. How like 3 years ago, not 3 years, 2 years ago. 2 years ago, white armor versus today white armor. Like, oh, that's progress for you. It's like blue almost. Anyway, although of course my white armor would get really good after that many white scars. Net loss? I am at, if I were doing this hourly, I'd be at slave labor. I'm pretty sure I've gone beneath pennies an hour. Wish I was joking. But I'm the one that screwed this. I'm the one that screwed this up. So, and it was like a signed contract. So I'm in it. I'm stuck in it. These got to get done. Need more Necron commission. I need more of any kind of commission, because any kind of commission I can turn into a Necron commission. Like I said, even white scars, because the point is that I would be doing my own at least paint techniques. Like you can give me a scheme, but how I accomplish that scheme is going to be my way, and it's going to be very fast and efficient. Like I've been putting on Instagram, like I'm open for another commission. I can take on another commission right now while doing these guys, because it'll be very quick. It won't take long at all. I got some like stuff inside the trench. What's that business model? Does the business model go get famous on TV? Because I don't have immediate access to that. Actually, I need to fix, well, I'll do the edge highlight first. So edge highlight is white scar. Keeping with, explaining all the pieces. Oh, wow. Actually, I should check. I might actually have a small commission to do some magnetization for a guy that was in the stream earlier. I gotta check my website. he was at, I was going through a whole, like, all the stuff I've magnetized, and, nah, he hasn't put one in, but anyway. Yeah, or maybe he emailed me. Hold on. What is all these, all these pings. Ping. The thing I was checking, right? Anything? Nope. Any event. We got. Yeah, any of my commissions now are gonna look kind of like the Necrons for the charity. not look like, but like the process of doing them is gonna be akin to that. It's all gonna be speed paint methods. And then if they want like special stuff, then that's where I'll put in like the fine brushwork. It'll still look great. I can guarantee that. Unless they do want box art level stuff like this, which I'm gonna make them pay out the nose for because the amount of time is incredible. Okay, Jason, you want the time breakdown of what this commission looks like right now to get this like level of quality out of these with this paint scheme? You want the hard numbers? Not hearing anything back, so I'm assuming maybe not. Yeah. That's partially why my stuff takes so long. Like, for an example, Josh, so like, this actually had some speed painting methods, like the actual black on land speeder. I did like a speed paint method, but like everything else was brushed, and these are like actual chains and stuff I used for these, actual jewelry chain. And this whole thing is magnetized, so every single option for the land speeder is is magnetized to swap out. This thing took me, I started this project in March. I finished this like 2 weeks ago. Now granted, there was like a whole month I wasn't working on it at all. Actually, like more like a month and a half. But still, like between the modeling time, oh yeah, I made all this out of green stuff. These are just as stuff. I made this little wrap thing to hold the sword on out of green stuff. These like straps through the skulls of the eye to the chains, green stuff. This thing all in all, like, if I was just doing like standard hobby time allotment, this thing was probably like a 2.5 month project right here. Or for more like a more standard model, I could show either this Vanguard vet that I finished late last week, or this I did back in January and February. It was a whole 10-man squad of these intercessors, all with tribalization add-ons and stuff. Yeah, that's kind of like one of my calling cards, really, is just really pristine detail. I'm really like OCD detail oriented. Like it's hard for me to not go into high detail. It's like literally, like I catch myself going like just doing extra fine detail just automatically. Like I have to pre-plan to. I'm gonna see if it'll focus less on that stuff if I move that out of the way. I have to pre-plan to use like a speed painting method or something like that to not go into high levels of detail. I mean, there is credence to that saying, but that saying is that saying actually really crippled me in the workforce, honestly. Like I was explaining to someone I was showing my painting stuff to, and they're not a hobbyist, so they're just like completely blown away at the level of detail on the stuff. Like, is it, you know, because like as good as it looks to us that know what we're looking at, imagine like a person that's complete casual and they realize that's like 2.5 inches tall, and I show them like that White Scar's Apothecary, and they're just like, holy crap, how even? But I was explaining, like, yeah, like, they were saying, like, man, that's, like, a superpower of yours. And I'm like, honestly, when I was in the normal workforce, it was, like, it was, like, a crippling affliction. Because I am so hardcore detail-oriented as a person that it would literally cause me problems in, like, normal jobs. Because I was too slow for most people. But it's like, you know what? Go... How about this? How about you just go to someone else if you want something done fast? You come to me if you want something done right. Yeah, I mean, I used to be an electrician. That was a thing I ran into a lot. But it's like, we're installing fire alarm systems? I would expect you to appreciate them functioning, right? Like fire alarm systems in Rhode Island, specifically. So yeah, it's like now I make websites and paint miniatures, and I try to do a couple other things. And it's like, yeah, you want perfect? Come to me. You might have to wait a little bit for it, but when you get it, it will blow you away. It's actually, since I've gone completely freelance, the amount of time it takes has never been an issue for the other person. The time it takes has been more of an issue for me because of the pay discrepancy between time it takes to do it and my time utilized. Right, you'd be drawing them and I would be wiring them, the fire alarm systems. Like, you know where I utilize perfect is the enemy of good? You know where I utilize that saying? Politics. That's where I utilize that saying. Like, yeah, we can talk about idealistic theory all you want, but, like, how are you actually going to make that happen in real life? That's the real question, because you're not. Like 98% of like political ideas fall apart at the theoretical implementation level. It's like we can talk about like literally we can talk about the theoretical implications of how much good X idea could do, etc., but like how are you actually going to implement that? How are you going to enforce, you know, X and Y? How are you going to collect Z and A? So like that saying totally makes sense on that front, but like for my kind of work output, it just doesn't, because it's not how my brain works. Unless, like I said, unless I set out to do a speed paint type thing, like I have to pre-plan, I'm gonna do X to like do this like very efficiently. And because this commission was not ever designed to be efficient. It was designed to be high detail. Here we are. Alright, so correct me if I'm wrong, Josh, but you play Necrons as your primary army, right? I'm gonna have to put that back there and hope it doesn't screw me. Septon. Oh, okay. Well, that's totally fair. I was gonna ask you, how do you feel about the big like point changes and stuff, but I guess you don't really have the context to be able to comment on that. Yeah, that's totally fair. I've only gotten a couple games in this year myself, and now I'm like, I don't even know if I want to put in more games because the CP changes completely broke my already struggling army. Like, Raven Guard was already struggling, but I found one list that was, like, decently effective if all the right pre-game, like, stuff, like, happened, like, all the stars aligned for me to pull off, like, this giant 14-step like, I'm not even joking, like, a 12-step combo. Then I could do, like, a crap load of damage to an enemy army and hopefully keep them busy long enough for me to win a bunch of VP. But with new CP changes, that entire strategy is, like, mostly out the window. So... not to mention, like, several of my most powerful units. I literally, like, can't afford to field them and do other stuff because they're relics. So, yeah, I don't even know anymore. Yeah, that's reasonable. I've only been, like, barely keeping up with the rule changes because I'm just painting all the time. I don't really play anymore. I'd like to play. But like I mentioned, I don't have the transportation to make it happen. And getting a white, I just want to... oh, I guess I only have super clean because I'm not like done with the white yet. I just want like a cleaner brush to go in with. Yeah, I've heard Necrons have really been put back into the running as like a pretty solid army. It just sucks because Space Marines are still like lukewarm as a codex at best, and Raven Guard have just been having an awful time of it. So I've been not in a good way as far as all that's concerned. Yeah, I'm totally on the boat that it's like effectively a conspiracy theory that they write the codexes to push products. The question is like, what are their means of determining which products need to get pushed? Is it based on current stock of already made stuff in their warehouses? Is it based on upcoming new releases? Is it based on stuff they're trying to phase out? Um, is it, a hybrid of, two or more of those things and others? Like, what is it? Yeah, that's totally fair. My problem with Kill Team, even though I've had people begging me to play Kill Team for years, I'm not joking, like literally like it's like 3 years, like basically since Kill Team came out, I've had like multiple people, like 5 different people asking me to get into Kill Team. And they're like, "Oh, Raven Guard would be so good in Kill Team." Like it makes total sense for them. And I'm like, "Yeah, it does. Thematically. Here's the problem. One of the biggest things that got me into 40k in the beginning was its absolutely massive scale. Like I've always loved big warfare games. Like Battlefield 4 having like 64 people in a rush game or conquest game, whatever it was, or Battlefield 1 operations. The bigger and more frantic and hectic and like chaotic the war game was, the more I liked it. So when I got into the 40k lore, because that's how I originally got into 40k, I like exclusively just read lore, mostly from the wiki actually, for like 5 years before I got any models. And actually only got into the models because I thought it was too expensive. I only got into the models because someone gifted me a Dark Vengeance box. And it was the absolute scale of everything. So looking at Kill Team and how much smaller it is, it feels like a downgrade to me. Yeah, like I already like I have a ironically of all of the starter boxes I have, which is like um every big multi-faction release box Space Marines have had it since 8th came out, like standard Space Marines, I have. Dark Vengeance, Dark Imperium, well Dark Vengeance is actually from like 6th edition, but Dark Vengeance, Dark Imperium, Shadow Spear, Indomitus, I have them all. Guess which one I have fully painted? Shadow Spear, even though half those units aren't even good anymore. I have a bunch of fully painted Phobos. I have 10 Infiltrators painted. I have 6 Eliminators, 3 Suppressors, all 3 Phobos characters, the Lieutenant, the Captain, and Librarian. The problem is like, dumbing down to, not dumbing down, it's not the right word, but like scaling down to a skirmish game feels like a downgrade to me. There isn't enough going on to hold my interest. I want swaths of infantry and tanks and walkers and air support and artillery barrages and orbital strikes, and like what I actually want to get into is if I had the time and I could find it, now that I have a big enough army, is get into apocalypse type games. I want stuff that lasts a weekend. I've never done that before. The biggest game I ever played, which we didn't even properly finish, was a 2v2 of myself and Plasma versus Joe and Taylor in a 2v2. And Joe had to leave almost immediately, but he left his army with Taylor, so it was a 2v1, and we still got destroyed because it was before Space Marines 2.0 and 8th came out, so Space Marines sucked. Versus Taylor's Death Guard and because I was playing Raven Guard, Plasma was playing Imperial Fists, and then Joe was playing like Chaos Undivided or Word Bearers, something like that, with some Knight support, and then Taylor was playing Death Guard with Mortarion and a Greater Demon. And Taylor's Death Guard alone just completely crushed us. Mortarion effectively just one-man armied his way right into our deployment zone and just like slaughtered squad by squad. It was awful. Even after I killed him with a Contemptor, by then it was like too late. Half of both of our armies were completely like laid to waste, and the knights were closing in. But it was really big and it was really fun because of that. Like I want to play like the games you see in like the Codex art, where you see the miniatures and it's just like this, like three armies of space marines converging on this massive chaos and divided force, and it's just like 2.5 pages worth of crap, and I'm like, yes, yes. I want to wait an hour and a half for my turn because someone else spent like 45 minutes just moving their stuff. It's like, it's both awful and awesome just because you're just looking at it, and it's just like there are hundreds of just dudes just ready to murder each other on this like multiple tables or this floor space, however you want to do it. And like that's the stuff I want. Which is probably partly why I'm gonna start really I think I'm gonna start legitimately picking up Horus Heresy, because it's a lot better geared towards that in a lot of ways. And I do really want the Age of Darkness box and the Kratos tank, like really bad. It's just I can't afford them right now, realistically. I need a fair bit more income, or a whole new income stream to get 'em. Oh, nice. Word bearers, I find word bearers very cool aesthetically, because the whole scripts thing and everything else, and like their style of combat. It does seem like they have like an extra special gimmick of really leaning into the demons thing in 30k, because there aren't really other demons, you know? Demons weren't like a really big presence like they are in 40k. So while everyone else is just Space Marines, or Mechanicus, or Imperial Army, or the Solar Auxilia, then you have Word Bearers, which is like demons. If I do get the Age of Darkness box, that'd actually make my third Contemptor. Yeah, right? I mean, to be fair, every Legion has their special forces squads. Like, I have, for Raven Guard, you have the Dark Fury Assault Squad, which I actually have those. Because they're just Vanguard vets with extra rules. You have the Mordathan Sniper Squads, which are just, like, they're like the in-between the Scout Snipers and the Eliminators, effectively. And then you have the Deliverers, which are the Terran veteran Cataphracti Terminator squads. Which, I'm not sure why they're the ones that get named compared to the standard Raven Guard Terminators and Tartarus armor, which look way better if you ask me. Yeah, that is cool. Honestly, I don't really remember the special rules for my stuff, partially because I don't actually have the book yet, so... I just read them on Discord one day, like, a few weeks back. More like a friggin' 2 months back. Jeez. A while back is the point. I kind of keep losing track as to what I've actually highlighted, because part of like the scheme is like it sets up the highlight so much that sometimes stuff looks like it's highlighted before I've even highlighted it yet. What is your process in each piece? Do you mean like each model? Like what my overarching process is? Or do you mean like with white armor? Like there's like layers of processes involved in all of this. So like you're gonna have to be a little bit more specific. Okay, so like white armor. Okay. Actually, I have a video tutorial going over this, which I would say I would just put in a command, but the commands aren't working tonight, so that's the whole thing. But anyway, but here's the recipe. So I airbrush prime this, and I use Res white airbrush primer, and then I airbrush base coat it with Army Painter matte white, and that's like the actual white you see there. Then I go through with a size 1 Pro, so all the brushes you actually see me use, except for like effects and stuff, all my basic painting is with Monument Hobbies Pro Series Sable brushes. I use a 1 for almost everything, and I use a 0 for like detail work. So I use a 1, and all like the recesses I'll use Contrast Apothecary White. That's the first like broad shader. Then in the recesses again, in like right into the like the corners themselves, like very precise. I'll usually use a 0 for this. Is a mix of 2 parts Apothecary White Contrast. So again, and then 1 part Contrast Black Templar, and 1 part Lamian Medium. I made because I have so many of these, I made like a whole bottle of it. I just put like a whole crap load of all of them in there. So then I put this on the palette, and I use it that way. Then I go through all these trenches, these like very deep like rivet things, which actually I need to clean up a bunch of them because they got white paint in them of one kind or another, with Contrast Black Templar. Then the highlight, which is with a size 1 along the edge, like alongside the edge, with Corex White, which is actually an off-white, which gives the side that kind of like the darkening to give more contrast to both the flat and the edge, where the edge highlight itself is White Scar. And then I go back and I clean it all up with going back and redoing the Black Templar and using matte white to clean up where stuff got really crazy, or painting from other pieces on them, like other parts of it, like say the black, for example, got on the white. I'll clean up with the matte white. So that's the white armor specifically. Now, as I go through the streams, I have been, like, describing what I'm doing. It's just, it takes so long to do the highlighting that I haven't really done that since you came in here, ironically. Yeah, so this is, like, the, here's why that's the recipe. That's the official, like, heavy metal white armor recipe. So, like, this is actual... The reason this looks so good is because this is the actual, like, box art White Scars paint scheme. So like when I do this like particularly well, these are literally box art level White Scars. Like this guy could flat out be on a White Scar. Like if you were to see, if you took like the Assault Intercessors box kit and made them White Scars, it like the sergeant would look like this guy, just flat out. Like it would be this guy. That's but yeah, that's what Plasma asked for, and I was dumb at the time and didn't realize how much using someone else's paint scheme would screw me, because here's the problem. I can't figure out a way mid-painting how to make this faster or more efficient. I just have to grind it out. Because like when I'm doing my stuff, I usually am looking for a faster, more efficient way, and half the time I find one. Or like when I was doing the Necrons for the charity events, I switched up my recipe on a few different things, like 3 different times a piece. Yeah, thanks. I appreciate that. Man, this brush really just does not want to get in there cleanly. And yeah, it looks great, and I've hijacked that white for my Raven Guard, because I don't have nearly as much white armor. It's pretty much just arms and helmets on like special guys. So it looks really good on that. Like This guy's white armor is the exact same scheme. So it looks like really good and clean and professional, right? If I was doing it quick though, like for a commission, like a just someone asked me for like a standard white scar commission, like just nothing super special or ridiculous. I would just blackline it with probably Black Templar. I would just go through every recess. I would just go through every recess and just Black Templar it, and it would still look really good. It wouldn't be as detailed. There wouldn't be as much gradient on like the shadowing that really gives it the pop. But from table distance, it would still look great. Because it's all about contrast in the end, and I don't mean contrast paint. I mean contrast like the paint theory of two colors being jarringly disparate, but not in a way that is unpleasing to the eye. Complementary contrasting, if you will. As for the overarching process for each of these guys, if you want to hear about like the overarching process of how I like design and build and then paint these guys, so I'll get out the sprue and pop off like the torso and legs, like all the ones on that sprue, and I will like test fit them to get like just the legs and torso, and then I'll look at it for a little bit and play with it and figure out like a kind of posing, that would work with that. And then I'll pick out the what am I doing? I'll pick out the arms, and the shoulders, and whatever. And then from there, I will, I'll go through and clean them up, do the mold line bit and all that. Man, this one little divot's giving me like a really hard time. I'm about to just, here's a shortcut. Take some of the shader instead of the Black Templar. Doesn't go as hard. Easy to clean up. I'm just, son of a. Okay, there we go. Actually, it mostly rubbed out. Can't see this well in here, but there's now like a little bit of black smearing. Whatever. So then I will kind of like semi-build it. Sort of, kind of. And then I'll put it on a base, and then I will make a custom little base thing like this with some rocks, because that's kind of the scheme that's been going on with these. If you noticed, he's like running off a rock in that case. And these are actually made out of sprue spines, and then a bunch of green stuff put around them, and then I just kind of like play with them until they look like rocks. Let that dry, and then I oh yeah, a trick as I'm cleaning up the parts I'm building, I go to all the holes and I get a drill bit that's slightly larger than the actual hole, and I'll drill it out and make them all bigger. And that's because after you airbrush, prime, and base coat everything, all the pegs will be thicker. Like significantly thicker. It's really hard to get them together. So if you, actually no, I'll do the transfer first before we move on to the next bit. Get some hard coat. So then I'll airbrush everything, the white primer, airbrush, oh actually is this the new one? No, this is the old one, I just didn't want to open. Prime it all, and that includes the base. primer white. I'll then base coat all of the white scar white, and then I'll go and base the base black. And at some point I gotta go, actually, you know what, while that art coat is drying, I'm actually gonna do the terrain paint on the base. Because the base, there's no reason the base shouldn't be done like way before the rest of it, because the base actually is mostly just drying. Base coat is black with the airbrush. It'll be getting based with astrogranite debris. Which is what I base all these guys and all my guys with, actually. Which actually we did that on purpose. So if Plasma and I ever go against each other again with these guys specifically, or if we go against each other, looks like on the same planet, or if we go if we ally again, which is totally reasonable because this is Kasaro Khan's company, specifically the third company, and my guys are led by Shrike, Kayvon Shrike, and they have a history together. Like, they like each other. Well, a lot more so than the average Raven Guard and White Scars, which is a very thick rivalry. This is very watery. Let me shake this more. I'm used to it. So yeah, then I go through the guy, painting it piece by piece, and assemble it as it's painted. So the beginning of all that, you can get a single book, the Damocles Crusade. It's actually a collection of like medium to short stories about the first major war between the Imperium and the Tau, and it includes the White Scars fighting the Tau. Actually has a bunch of White Scars stories, but also has one that stars a good number of Raven Guard, including when the Tau killed the Raven Guard's last chapter master before Kayvon Strike. Like when the second Damocles Crusade, or the the second Damocles Crusade occurs, Kayvon Strike was actually the captain of the third company. It was... what was his name? Now I'm forgetting it. Yeah, it wasn't as nearly as memorable of a name. I'm having a hard time remembering his name. Anyway, there's another guy that then got actually got counter ambushed. Like, they were ambushing the Tau, but the ambush was actually a trap. And the Tau got the last guy. So then Kayvon Strike had to take over. And part of all that is like Kayvon Strike and Kasaro Khan doing a bunch of like fighting the Tau together and stuff. So they ended up, you know, actually they kind of knew each other before Damocles Crusade, because I remember that they like Kasaro Khan recognized Strike specifically at one point, but I don't remember where or even if that is in a book somewhere. I'd have to go looking for that. But yeah, on several different occasions, Shrike and Kasaro fought together, so they have a mutual respect. So now that's probably gonna dry overnight before I can really do anything, because this is like really watery. I keep like earbudding the camera. Oh, so while I have the Citadel like texture paint thing, I got a whole bunch of these modeling tools from Michaels, actually. A whole bunch of them. This is like half of them. And some of these have been really amazing for like texture paint, green stuff, like all types of crap. Totally recommend it. Alright, so how's it's almost dry? Not even close. Alright, so on to the chest. It's got some black, got some red, it's got a pouch. So the black is simply Abaddon black, and then Dawnstone highlight, and then Null Oil shader of the whole thing. Michaels is awesome. Like, all my jewelry chain I got from Michaels for like a couple bucks each for like a couple feet of jewelry chain per. Is pretty good. Got liquid resin from there. How are your Krieg coming along? You mentioned you were working on them earlier. Oh, cool. I will go look. I gotta do more work in progress pics. For the longest time I didn't like doing progress pics because I would constantly be trying to make pieces that like came off more like art pieces with just a lot of like almost aggression and shock value like in the way they're like modeled and like photographed. It's starting to come together. Yeah. But lately I'm starting to get more and more into like just posting pics of stuff partially done, I suppose. It has been more yeah, nice. Well, then you might actually really like the results of what I'm doing right now then. When this black is done in just a couple minutes. Or actually I can show you the results here. So this is Abaddon black, Dawnstone, and then a top coat of Null Oil. Just Null Oil just plastered right over it. And it really smooths out your gray and yeah. Black glaze over the metals. Nice. Yeah, pretty much all my metal, I do like lead belcher, Null Oil, and then highlight of Ironbreaker. Or at least like on these guys. On my guys I use Army War Paints. Not this actually. I use gunmetal, Null Oil, and then plate metal, plate mail metal, which is effectively the same thing. It's just their Army War Painter, which I find to be a somewhat higher quality of paint just in general. Really having a hard time getting in under this. Not quite armpit, but like in there. Yeah, there you go. Speaking of glazes, have you messed with inks yet? A little bit. I recommend you get Vallejo's Game Ink like set. Like just get the whole like set of them. They're amazing. Like red, blue, violet, skin wash, and even sometimes green I use like a lot. Barricades. I do remember there being some really cool looking barricades put up. Are those in showcase or work in progress? Didn't put them in showcase. Alright, so work in progress. Oh yeah, I did put up a work in progress a little while ago of the Vanguard vet I'm currently working on. Nope, that's not it. Where are you? I do remember talk of barricades, though. Oh yeah, there they are. Yeah, that's looking pretty good. Yeah, I found them. Yeah, it does look like mostly just glaze work, which is really efficient. $10.19. Good. I'm getting tired, to be honest. Testing inks on those. Yeah, nice. Yeah, it looks like it. Inks are amazing. I'll be depending on how far I get into this guy, you might see me use inks tonight on his chest. on the Aquila piece, not the Aquila, but like the winged skull. It has a name. I don't remember it. The like Imperialis or something like that. Yeah, that was the picture I saw. Yeah. Yeah, it looks good. Like for table distance, I'd consider that done. Burnt umber. That's a good way of putting it. Oh, I don't even know my... Can't tell what I'm doing. Now my stream open, so I don't know what's happening. Yeah, bright inks can be like amazing. So probably my favorite. Yeah. Nah. 1 second. Okay. So like on this guy, you can see 3 different inks being used. All of this like bright sharp red is Wild Rider red with a top coat of red ink. The plasma pistol, even though normally I would do like the inverse of this color scheme, but it was really efficient, is just white with blue ink. Just thrown right on it. And the face, the shading on it, like all of the recess shading on that is done with gaming skin wash, which is like a burnt orange brownish kind of color. Oh, and actually the wax is actually Caliban green and then Crute green and then game ink, green ink. It's actually 4. There's actually 4 inks on this guy. And actually all of the red everywhere is all the rest of the red is Corn red and then Wild Rider red and then Game Ink red over it. Yeah, that's why I started using them, because it gives me a much higher saturation of different colors with like no effort, basically. And sometimes I can even reduce steps. Because the only recipe that was given to me flat out was the white. It's like everything else is mine. Yeah, you got it, Josh. I will catch you another time. Thanks for hanging out with me. Need just a smallest amount of more Dawnstone. Give me it. Alright, it's not Dawnstone, it's done for that. I'm gonna pop no oil in there. Let's smooth that out, I think. I don't know. I don't really figure out how I had it before. Right, while that's drying, we're gonna move back to the leg and we're gonna pop a transfer on there. Anyone else still with me? Anyone else still hobbying? If so, what are you up to? What you doing? Alright, so the specific squad is, it's not the first squad, it's the red lightning bolt point upside down, which is I don't know, I can check in a second. I don't remember. Fort Squad. They are Fort Squad. Came up, I was just too fast and didn't even realize it. There we go. It's like slightly ajar and like add diagonal. I like that. I can move it up slightly. There we go. Give that a minute for the water to dry, then I'm going to put some micro set on that to really get it to settle in, and then probably some Lamy and medium to just mat all that down. Now, this is effectively dry. Needs a little bit more, but that's fine. We're going to move on. Get that chest done. So it's just some corn red. Using the size 1 brush. Just going for full coverage on the whole thing. There we go. Now we're moving over to Wild Rider Red, which I'm going to use to highlight the, I think it's called the Oculus Imperialis, or Oculus Imperialis? Honestly, I really don't remember, I guess. Just going for all of the raised edges. Which, with a gentle touch and a fine brush, you can just kind of wipe right over them automatically without much effort at the right angle. Alright, and like I said earlier, now, actually before I get to that, let's go back to the league. Brush sometimes does not want to become clean depending on the paint you used. Like white and orange, for some reason, really hard time coming off. There you go. Alright, so seems dry now, so now I'm gonna put some micro set on it. Micro set, which is gonna ever so slightly melt the plastic the transfer is made of in a way that'll make it curve onto the kneecap better. And then I'm going to, after that dries, I'm gonna put a generous top coat of laminate medium to mat all of that gloss from the art coat down. I'm gonna put some, yeah, I guess that ink's dry. Some red ink on here. I need to wire this down a little bit just to make it flow easier, so I may require 2 coats to get the effect I'm looking for. That's fine. It takes like 10 seconds to apply a coat, so that's good. Time for that pouch. Don't know if his chest is gonna be done today, but that's partially my fault for going off the rails like 4 times for like minutes on end each time. We're gonna see what we can do. Actually, I have to like wait for that to entirely dry before I can really move out on that one. I have to wait for the ink to dry to fix the weight. Last. suppose I could go ahead and blackline the trenches. Alright, so now highlight the pouch and give it a little rusticness and rock art flesh. Really gonna try and get this pouch done before we wrap up for the night. And I'll see you guys again tomorrow at 1:30 p.m. Eastern for the afternoon stream, which will be continuing the White Scar for sure. And if we get really good progress in that, maybe we'll do something. Maybe we'll return to the Vanguard Vets for tomorrow night. At least part of tomorrow night, maybe. So the technical difficulties had me... Yeah, this is way too wet still. And the brush is way too wet. Good control. There we go. It's more like it. Oh yeah, actually I should forgot that step. Let me take a second now, check the leg while it's doing this. So I'm going to take a little bit of Nuln Oil. I'm going to darken around the button here. This is important to do before the rock art flush. And around the opening in the little flap there. How's the leg doing? Seems dry. I'm just gonna cover this whole thing. Might take a couple coats, but it'll pull down this glossiness from the hard coat. How's this pouch doing? Yeah, it's basically dry. It's been having a really hard time focusing lately. Alright, time for the rest of the rock art flush. Now I'm just gonna rough it up a little bit on the corners. Kind of like a dry brush effect. Because it's just a small brush, it does the, it drops the paint kind of in a scattered way. Seems good. And the last bit for that is contrast skeleton horde. Well, technically there's also the button, which is line breaker. Yeah, it's still gonna need a couple coats of lamine medium before the leg is done. Alright, well, we got 3 minutes left. I'm not even completely sure anyone's, like, currently watching live. These Twitch stat trackers are notably inaccurate at small numbers. So, yeah, I'm going, especially because the commands aren't working right now, I'm going to hit the ending stream screen so you can get my socials. And I will see people in the stream tomorrow, and I'll see people watching this later next time you decide to watch some of my content. See you then.